So there's a couple things that have really inspired me. Where I grew up in northern Ohio, the landscape is pretty heavily dense with pine trees. When I moved to Cincinnati, I realized pretty quickly, especially when the winter months came and all of the greenery started to vanish, that something was missing in the landscape, and I realized quickly that it was the pines when I would travel home for the holidays. So there's this sense of finding myself back into my homeland when I travel back up there and the pines start to become thick again. Kind of seemed true to keep to pine, so I've used construction pine. It's readily available for me. I don't need art materials to be special or beyond being accessible. It's a fast-growing material, so I feel a little bit more conscientious around using those materials. The exterior is getting a skin on it that will be made with old pallets, or some people call skids, that have been reclaimed and are being re-envisioned as this kind of textural element on the exterior. So I wanted to bring them to life again. I built the armature in my own studio by myself. And then when I came on site, there's a lot of things to take into consideration. And so I had a slew of volunteers that have been out here on site with me, volunteers from the Nature Center that have been helpful. All the scales pivot. And so I kind of envisioned initially that kids would probably play in this kind of treehouse way. As they enter in, they can articulate these scales up. Other kids can be on the outside and kind of play like a game of hide and go seek. The interior ribs that are vertical have this arch to them that coincides with kind of the arch of your spine. So 6 people can technically kind of lay back on these arches and look up into the exterior space. There's a hole in the roof. I love to be in nature. I think that often we forget that we can experience art in more approachable ways. And so having an opportunity to be out in nature and experience this thing that creates maybe another form of awe other than just nature itself was really inspirational to me.